Hello there. This is your tutor, Mark Anedo, and I'm welcoming you to my YouTube channel. This is a channel, a platform where we only do educative and inspirational kind of content that inspire you to make sure that you have at least a target that makes you have an urge of wanting to wake up every now and then to make sure that you push and you will this will of humanity to the destination that is required at least to live a purposeful life. Now, this is episode 72 of Tuesday Class Job Market, where we are supposed to be tackling the second type of business administrative course, which is called accounting. If you are watching me for the first time, please make sure you follow all my content the way we started, because we started by introducing what business administration course means, some of the requirements for you to be able to do that, and then some of the top 10 best administrative courses that somebody should be eyeing for. So the first one, I talked about project management, its definition, importance, where it can be done, and maybe the possible areas or continent around the world where you can be able to get at least reasonable kind of employment with better packages. We normally, each and every one of us is eyeing on what is called a greener pasture. But what I told you is that there is no always greener pasture somewhere. It is you to go there with your watering can to make sure you water it. Now, our watering can in this scenario is the educative part of it. So it's good to further your education, whether you are a leader or you are a supervisor or you are a manager or you are a project manager. It's always good to further your education to make sure that you fertilize your experiences, your abilities, and your knowledge in area of participation. Now, welcome. Please support my channel. It's called Anedo Mark YouTube by subscribing and sharing. Make sure you comment, like it. Then also Facebook page, I am called Common Sense Isn't Common. That's my page. You can follow me over there. Then Facebook account is called Anedo Mark. Email anedomark@yahoo.com. You can get me there. So if you have any question, any point of concern, any type of discussion that you may wish we really discuss, please, you are free to visit those platforms where we can share whatever little we have. Welcome. Today we are talking about Tuesday Class Job Market episode 73, if I'm not wrong, accounting. Through this topic, please stay with me because we'll be handling 5 main areas. Number 1, the definition of accounting. Number 2, we are going to check the purpose of accounting. Number 3, we'll be talking about what are the qualifications, what are the necessities of doing accounting. Then number 4, we'll be talking about the advantages or the importance of doing accounting and some of the areas that you can do it. Then number 5, we'll summarize by looking at some of the parts of the world, especially the European countries, where this employment is really needed and some of the packages that they pay in relationship to the one salary scale.com. We'll check on that, and specifically I'll tell you specific countries or continent where if you learn accounting as a person, you have good package with you. So it's something that when you do, you will never end up like crying for that you did a mistake. No, any type of education that you do, any type of course that you do, by the end of the day, it's not a wastage, because well, in the long run, of course, you will get payment profit. Now, what is accounting? Simply playing with maths. That's accounting. That's the definition. The layman language of defining accounting is just playing with maths, playing with figures. In short, it involves analyzing, sorting out the data, especially in relation to the financial situation. So accounting simply involves collecting the financial data, analyzing them, recording them, and presenting them in such a manner that somebody can use the recorded data to do analysis or to decide on type of investment that is supposed to be done, or maybe to calculate the losses or where the money was misquandered. That is simply the definition of accounting. There is no proper definition of accounting that you can say. Anybody, anyhowly can define the word accounting, and that is it according to that layman language. Now, the accounting process, simple. What are some of the processes included in this accounting? In short, when you define accounting, there are some processes that you should not avoid or you should not miss in your definition. For example, the processes include summarizing the financial situation, analyzing this financial situation, and reporting this data in relationship to the figures or numerical values. That is accounting. What is the purpose of accounting? Why should we really endeavor to do accounting? Why will somebody, maybe a manager, somebody who is wealthy, really struggle to do accounting? And for your information, remember, when you talk about accountants, don't only think of that personnel in the white collar job seated somewhere in the office at a professional level. That is the person we refer as accountant. Even yourself at that small scale business of yours, these small notes, maybe you are selling something at maybe $1, $15, $2, you minus, you add, you subtract, you divide. That is the simplest accounting. So accounting is a very, very practical course that you can do in every scenario or every level of social status. So each and everybody, even back at home, when your parents send you, maybe you are a parent, you send your child and something like that with maybe $10 or $100, you budgeted all what is supposed to be bought, and by the end of the day, in your psychological mindset, you have a certain balance that should be given back. That is simply accounting. Now, simple. That definition is able to answer to us what is the purpose of accounting. Simple. We do accounting to be accountable for the assets, and in this case, asset we only refer to the finance, which is money. Now, the purpose of doing accounting, when we do analysis, when we collect the data and we do the report, simply we will be able to know why and where and when we are supposed to do investment. So one purpose of doing accounting is to make sure that we invest wisely. Number two purpose of doing accounting is to make sure that we make proper decision making when it comes to financial usage. We will be able to know where we should apply the finance, where there is emergency, where there is some kind of things that are very important and maybe not emergent. So we will be able to invest or put in use money in different departments or different areas depending on their emergency or else depending on their necessities. Otherwise, we have so many things that are very important but not emergency. You know, we have some things that are emergency and they can only be found now and then. So it will help you to analyze the data and make sure to know that you put finance in the right place. Then also it will help us to lend and borrow. Yourself, you know the financial status only and if you do accounting properly. That is when you know whether you have money or you don't have money, whether you lose money or you don't. If you don't do accounting in the right way, by the end of the day, you will be either a poor lender or you will be suffering from overdraft from the accounts, or maybe by the end of the day, you will suffer what is called salary symptoms, which are within a month, within 2 weeks after receiving your salary, you are all dead, you know. So it means that when we analyze, we collect the data, we report well, and we are committing the right way, by the end of the day, we will be becoming a very good and professional lenders and borrowers in the right way. And any other person. Now, accounting is not just accounting. Because it is done at a different stage of life, because it's done with different purposes, it means that therefore we have classifications or groups of accounting, as which we are going to see. Now, we have 4 major groups or 4 major types of accounting. Accounting number 1, we'll be talking about corporate accounting. We are going to see when you take a course concerning accounting, you can decide to be either a corporate accountant. We are going to see the difference between a corporate account with any other type of accountant. Then number 2, we talk about forensic accounting. Just like the name suggests, we will be able to know what type of a forensic accountant is. Then public accountant, and lastly, we'll be talking about the government accounting. So in your mind, know we have 4 types of accounting. So after doing research and making good decision of now going to do your accounting class, you should be having the type and the specific type of accounting that you are going to do. We have talked about the 4. Number 1, corporate accountant, and then forensic, public, and then government. Now, what is a corporate accounting? Just like the name suggests, this is a type of accountant that deals with cooperatives or deals with companies. For example, they are telling us that the activity that deals with analyzing, classifying, collecting, and presenting companies' financial situation or cooperative. Apart from the company, we can have a self-help group, we can have cooperatives. So any accountant that deals with the collection of data, analyzing of data, representing the data, and reporting the data that deals with the company, that individual is called a corporate accountant. Then, what about forensic accountant? Forensic accountant can either be government, can either be corporate, or can either be public accountant, but individually the kind of data that they collect are going to be used as witness in the court of law, or they can be used to judge the performance of a person of which the data collected will be used as evidence. That we call forensic. It is more like a CID job. It's more of criminal investigation, because we are going to see when the crime was done. Now, if the crime was done and this crime, maybe finance was involved, we will make sure that we involve a professional forensic accountant who will make sure that follows and traces all the dots of financial usage and transfers in different bank accounts, whereby by the end of the day, when we make the report, this report can be used to support the strength of the evidence whenever the judgment is supposed to be made. Simple like that. So if you feel like you want to go that way, that's type of accounting that is good with you. Public accountant now refers to the services that a public accountant or accounting firms or an individual prepares financial document as the tax return, or maybe prepares the public budget. Now, for example, my country, Kenya, in Africa, we do what is called annual budgeting in a country, whereby I think it's done in the month of July, whereby in the parliament or the House of Representatives, we have a certain minister who is in charge of financial situation in the country, comes up with the budget and reads it publicly in the House of the Representatives or House of the Commons. Now, this budget will be taken through the parliament and through the Senate, and then may be signed to become a law by the president for its usage. It can be involving billions of dollars or millions of dollars in that scenario. Now, an individual who deals with collection of data, reporting of data, presentation of data that are used to judge the type of taxes and the amount of taxes that a country charges, and also involved in collection of data that is used to support the country's budget and decision making and investment in the given budget in a country, that individual is called public accountant. Then lastly, government accountant. Is the recording and management of financial transactions carried out by the government and at any level. So government might involve locals, government might involve maybe state or federal states. You know, we have a country, like in my country, we have the counties and we have the local government. Now, the county can be having its own type of financial accounting, and then at the national level, we have also a certain type of accounting. Now, this type of accountant who deals at the national level and also deals at the county level, both of them, they do a presentation together. Now, these are called government. Simply, these are accountants that work for the government. Remember, it is different from the public one. The public one, it is in relationship of either government or maybe social collection or maybe cooperative, but it's something that is done for the public goodwill. But government, mostly these are only done within the parastatals. And by the end of the day, what are the main reasons why somebody will wish to do a government accountant? Because we want to know at the government level, at the governing area, how is the financial situation being used. That's why we are talking about this is an accountant that can work within a federal state, or can work within a county state, or can work within a national state, or can work within a local government area. Now, what are some of the qualifications? In short, who can qualify to take or to undertake accounting course? Simple and clear. So long as you are mathematical guru, or you are a person who is interested with playing with numbers, you are qualified to do accounting course. And generally, like I told you, accounting course is not something that is like specifically meant for specialized individual. No, anybody can be accountant. Just like I told you, it's not all about white collar job where you sit in the office and do your accounting. This one involves even the simple practicals you do at home when you prepare your budget. That is an example of being accountant. Now, because of that, it has very minimal qualification. For example, some of my country, like in my country, simply, so long as you are above A level and you have done maybe your KCSE, or maybe you are undergraduate or postgraduate in a different course, you are qualified to do accounting. Maybe already you are at supervisory level, you are in management level, administration level, you can still further your education in accounting. So simply, what accounting course needs is your availability and your interest. We call it the passion. Once you have that interest, you are qualified to undertake it. So don't get worried like, what am I supposed to own before I cross to be doing accounting? No, simple as that. Your availability and your passion and your interest or your love of numbers simply qualifies you to do the accounting course. Yeah. Why do we need accounting course? That one we have talked about. Number one, again, we can go over them. Accounting field, it offers wide variety of skills. When you do accounting, you do the IT, you do communication skill, you know how to solve problems, you know how to write numerical values, present them in graphical errors and all that. So it is a complex skill, a complex course that entices every individual inside that. So you can become an auditor, you can become tax accountant, you can become cost accounting personnel, professional certification, or maybe budgeter or something like that. So once you do this accounting, you are very fertile in experience, abilities, and knowledge, meaning that job market is wider for your case. You can choose from a variety of careers: staff accountant, staff auditor, financial, like just I have told you. Then you will be able to find employment opportunities in virtually any industry. There is no company, there is no organization, there is no self-help group that misses accountant. That person we call treasurer simply is an accountant. So it means that accountant will never come for much. It is a job that is already waiting for you, and each and every organization, each and every plan is really waiting for you there. So it's a very fertile course that once you do it, you cannot miss any type of employment. Then the background course, the background opens the door to alternative careers in business. Okay? You can, apart from accountant, you become a trainer, you become a teacher, you can become a researcher, an explorer. You see, when you do all these things, by the end of the day, you'll be able to experience many tangible activities in different courses. I'm sorry for the background because my environment of shooting today is noisy, okay? But I hope you are getting what I'm telling you. You will have a high earning potential as an accountant. This is a course that is promising, and for sure, just like I told you, the earning is just a good package. We will see according to that. Accounting work can be intellectual and challenging, and it is practical, but that's what I was telling you. Once you become an accountant, you know, it's playing with numbers, calculation all the time, thinking strategically, and you are criticizer, you are analyzer, you become a reporter, you become a researcher, you become like investigator, you become a presenter. So accounting is fully packaged kind of course that once you do it, generally you become an intellectual. So it's very rare to get an accountant missing something to do. Then you will cultivate in-demand transferable skills, like when you do accountant, you become analytical abilities, business, personal or personnel communication skills develop, quantitative and qualitative analysis skills becomes new, detail-oriented because accountant play with numbers and the numbers in digital. Then organizational ability, how you present your data really matters a lot. Problem-solving skills, because accountant mostly we are looking at solving problems that involve the finance. Then software experience, because nowadays the world is run digitally, meaning that most of the presentation we will be doing using the digital system. So it expands your skills, it expands your abilities and all the prior. Now, you can track your record. Then now, according to the world scale, or maybe the salaryscale.com, as you can Google and see. If you Google around the world, accountants are paid well, especially the European countries, the US part of the world. They pay very good kind of packages when it comes to salary, because they say the normal, or at the beginning, the entry stage of accountant level, the minimally paid individual per month is around, we can talk about 12 to 15 to 20,000. That is at the beginning level, but it can go higher and higher, referring to your qualification or experience at the duty. Because maybe you are at managerial level, you are at supervisory level, meaning that your pay scale really differs. The job group also determines the kind of pay scale that you will get even if you are accountant. So meaning that an individual can go up to $40,000 per month, or maybe $50,000 per month, which is summarized annually to be around $120,000, $150,000 per month. That is according to salarypayscale.com. So please, if you are trying to do an accountancy, please don't get losing hope. Make sure you do it to the best. Otherwise, I want to wish you all the best. This was your presenter, Makandedo, and this is my channel. Please make sure you subscribe. Motivate me by sharing the content, asking the question, commenting, and liking. May God see you, and press that dial to mean that you subscribe. Bye. See you next time. It was wise having you around. Wow. This is the world church. North America, you can see. Bye bye. See you next time.